Hi, I'm Dave Green, and this is Crash Course Inquiry Project, and today we'll be talking about global warming, and the fact that it actually exists. It's not just some fake crap invented by NASA, like the moon landing or the fact that Pluto isn't a real planet. It's a very real threat to human nature and organic life itself, just like your mustache, me from the past. Global warming. Climate change. These two terms are often used very synonymously, although in reality they aren't, although they are related. Definitions vary, but we both say that global warming is when human-polluted greenhouse gases warm the temperature of the Earth. Climate change, on the other hand, can be defined as when significant changes in temperature affect, from a fundamental level, the climate of the Earth. One, climate change, tends to be a result of another, global warming. There's actually a surprisingly large amount of people who swear that global warming does not exist. They think that the climate crisis is just natural climate change. Actually, I've only ever met like 20 people who believe that, but hey, with our evidence, that number should not be that high. Just the other day, in fact, a friend of mine walked up to me and was all like, global warming doesn't exist, it's just climate change. I wanted to smack him and tell him that he was wrong, but I was busy playing Pac-Man on my phone, so I was just all like, whatever you say, dude. Okay, back to global warming. If climate change and global warming are two different things, then why do we keep acting as though they mean the same thing? Because we are humans, and frankly, we are very stupid humans. Anyway, that is the reality that we live in now. 50 years ago, it was thought that the Earth's atmosphere was too large to disturb. Well, we certainly have disturbed the atmosphere. And here's the shocking thing. The current CO2 concentration of the atmosphere is completely unprecedented in the last 450,000 freaking years of the Earth's existence. That is a lot! Oh, us humans always think we're the center of the universe. No, damn, we are not! Anyway, nowadays most people are starting to realize that, yeah, we might have a problem here. In 2012, a survey took a set of over 14,000 peer-reviewed articles and compiled their info. Out of those 14,000, like 24 rejected global warming. I mean, 24. Seriously. I mean, what is that, like 0.17%? Fun fact. The U.S. consumes over 18,686 barrels of oil daily. Europe consumes about 600 less than that, daily. Europe is a continent. What the heck, America? Oh, it's time for the open letter? An open letter to Europe. But first, let's see what's in the secret compartment today. Oh, it's English muffins! I hate English muffins! Huh! Dear Europe, you are awesome! I mean, look at you! You have all these great countries with these fascinating histories, and great public health, and great cars, and great food, most of the time. I mean, great everything. I mean, even Russia's alright in the European part. However, you also suck. In the climate crisis, you're amazing! I mean, look at Iceland! Run almost entirely on geothermal energy? I mean, seriously, you have some major boasting issues. You're just like, we you Vikings are better than you. Screw you, Iceland. Sure, you're doing a great job, but that doesn't mean you have to rub it in our faces. You're hurting our feelings. Actually, you should rub it in our faces more. You're not reaching some people. Best wishes, Dave Green. Since 1965, world oil consumption has gone from 11,000 barrels of oil daily to 84,000 barrels of oil daily. That's about 7.5 times what it used to be. And we don't seem to be slowing down any. Oh, and by the way, if you want to go to Glacier National Park, go now. It's not going to be Glacier National Park for much longer. It'll just be park. Studies have shown that in the last 20 years, the world's glaciers have melted faster than in the last 10,000 years. I mean, seriously, we are some destructive idiots when it comes to keeping environments healthy. Look at the rainforest, for crying out loud. We clear-cut 80,000 acres of rainforest a day, and it provides 20% of our world's oxygen. The U.S. National Cancer Institute has only identified 3,000 plants that are active against cancer. 70% of those are found in the rainforest. Just in the last 250 years, CO2 levels in the atmosphere have gone up from 280 parts per million to 400 parts per million. And in the last 450,000 years, it has never risen above 300 parts per million. We know this, by the way, because we measure bubbles of air caught in glaciers, and they're associated with different time periods. Even in the fastest transition, it has taken the CO2 levels in the atmosphere 5,000 years to go up 50 parts. Obviously, we've surpassed that 300 times over. Black carbon, a type of carbon otherwise known as soot, in the air has begun to be a serious problem for Southeast Asia. That big, dark, evil-looking cloud you see over there? That's not cumulus or stratus. It's a cloud of black carbon hovering over the main spine of the Himalayan mountains. Studies show that this big, evil cloud, caused by industrialization, will cause the Himalayas to lose 70% of their snow and ice by 2020. Man, those poor Yetis! Species that have never lived in higher latitudes have begun to migrate to higher latitudes because of an increase in temperature in their native habitat. These new habitats have never had invasive species before, so it is damaging to their ecosystem. Pine beetles, for instance, have begun to migrate into pine forests, killing and damaging thousands of pine trees every year. In terms of the scientific consensus, global warming is very likely the most agreed upon phenomenon in all of science. Just keep that in mind. So, is global warming a real thing? We think so. Come on, all the cool people are believing it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week. Daniel Winkleman is our photographer and editor, Tyler Walker is our script supervisor and intern, and all of us wrote the script. This is a message that needs to be heard. Post it wherever you feel like. Thanks for watching, and as I say in my hometown, don't forget to be green.